Good morning, everyone. On behalf of my Regional Council co-chair, Satish Tripathi, my name is Howard Zemsky. We want to welcome you to Buffalo and to UB. I'd like to acknowledge, that's cool, do it again. The fact that I'm the college council chair at Buff State, don't let that hold you back. So good. We're all like family. I'd like to start by acknowledging some special guests today. Liaison CEO Ashok Subramanian. Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown. New York State Senator Tim Kennedy. New York State Assembly Member Crystal Peoples-Stokes. Assemblyman Mickey Kearns. Assemblyman John Soretto. Assemblyman Sean Ryan. Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars. City of Buffalo Comptroller Mark Schroeder. Niagara Falls Mayor Paul Deister. And a very, very special welcome back to Buffalo to Governor Andrew Cuomo. I have some more housekeeping to do. I'm going to lay out the speaking program. After me, there will be Ashok Subramanian, followed by the governor, followed by Mayor Byron Brown, New York State Senator Tim Kennedy, Assembly Member Crystal Peoples-Stokes, and I will close the program at the end. Well, it is great to have the governor back in Western New York yet again. We sometimes joke that the governor's here so often he has a pad here in Western New York. Nobody knows where it is. Larkinville. He can be seen incognito at Food Truck Tuesday, in line at Lloyd's Taco Truck, enjoying a Rolling Joe special at Rolling Joe Truck. Of course, the best part of welcoming the governor here is he's always got great news for Western New York. And great news isn't something that we had the last half century. We had nothing but bad news here for a very long time, and that's a story that we all know all too well. I've lived here for 33 years, and the first 30 of them were miserable. It was a tough economy here, and you all know that. But over the past 4 years, this region has transformed itself in a way that not one of you today would have ever imagined. Not one of you could have ever imagined what's happened here in the last 4 years. If I listed all the accomplishments of this governor, we would be here all day. As a result of the Buffalo Billion, there are new projects, new industries, 21st century companies coming to Buffalo, and the skyline of this city is transforming itself in a way that none of us could have ever imagined. All right. The governor brokered the agreement to keep the Bills here in Buffalo, and he will continue again and again to assure the Bills are here in Buffalo. After decades of impasse, the governor stepped into the breach to resolve the Peace Bridge quagmire, something we couldn't resolve for how many decades. It took the governor. You can clap at that. Now, I've had the opportunity to be co-chair of the REDC for the last few years, and I can tell you that one of the challenges that we've identified is entrepreneurship. We had a challenge, and we were lagging in entrepreneurship in this region for many years. Lo and behold, the governor initiates a strategy called Startup New York, the most aggressive program to lure new businesses, startup businesses that leverage some of our core strengths, that focus on high-tech manufacturing, information technology, and medical sciences, which play to our core. And so today, we are again here to announce new jobs and to recognize the success of these programs like Startup New York. And it's not surprising to me, and I'm sure it's not surprising to the governor, that Western New York, again, is realizing success from these programs. Now, it's one thing for me to talk about success in Western New York. It's entirely different when you see what people are writing about Buffalo, because you know what the stories were like forever. So I want to share with you, and I want to share with the governor, some of the recent news around the country and the world. Locally, bidding wars and big prices. Buffalo real estate is red hot. Buffalo, New York? Really? The Toronto Star, shocked and awed by the rebirth of Buffalo. Website deems Buffalo the best medium-sized city for new college graduates. Folks, we lost 120,000 people aged 20 to 39 in the prior 20 years. We have gained several thousand people, 20 to 39, in the last 3 years. There is no statistic that measures hope, but you know and I know that for too long we told our kids to leave town. The people you love the most, we told to leave town for how many decades? Now we're telling those same kids, and what I hear more often than anything else, is people will say, tell the governor, I am telling my kids, you got to come back to Buffalo. In Buffalo, New York, a new vitality is giving the once gritty city wings. Washington Post this weekend. And finally, the New York Times, which is tough on Buffalo, says, once just a punchline, Buffalo fights back. Yeah, we are fighting back, we fought back, and we are back. I know that the governor ultimately will come up here and he'll thank people, and he's very gracious. He thanks people for all their work, and he thanks people for making progress. But before I introduce Ashok, I want you all to recognize, as I know you do, that for all of his graciousness and for all the nice things that he will say, there is really one person responsible for the most dramatic, profound transformation in the economy of Western New York, the best friend that Buffalo and Western New York has ever had, period, end of discussion, Governor Cuomo. And with that, I'd like to introduce Ashok Subramanian.
Thank you to Howard Zemsky and the University of Buffalo, and welcome Governor Cuomo to Buffalo. My name is Ashok Subramanian. I'm a proud native of Western New York, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Liaison. Liaison is a pioneer company in the development of private benefits exchanges, which empower employees to customize their employee benefits while streamlining benefits administration for employers. Our software is currently used by over 800 companies to revolutionize the way they deliver employee benefits to their people. To date, more than 3 million Americans have enrolled in private exchanges, and industry experts such as Accenture project that 40% of businesses expect to offer insurance through a private exchange by the year 2018. Today is an exciting day for Liaison, for our team, which is well represented here today, and for our hometown, as we are pleased to announce that as a result of our growing business, new demand for our product, and Governor Cuomo's Startup New York program, we plan to add 500 new jobs over the next 5 years here in Buffalo. Liaison is living proof that we can build a great business and create the jobs of the 21st century right here at home. We're proud of our rapid growth in downtown Buffalo, having gone in just 7 years from subletting a small 3-person conference room to now employing over 150 people. But while that growth is impressive, the best is yet to come. Last year, we were approached and acquired by Towers Watson, a premier multi-billion-dollar global human resources consulting and outsourcing firm. Liaison continues to operate as an independent subsidiary within the Towers Watson family of companies. That acquisition has presented us with great opportunities for growth in terms of new resources, new relationships, and new geographies. However, as we look to expand and hire new associates to our team, it was only natural to have to also account for other new markets, other markets where Towers Watson had existing infrastructure and people. However, Liaison has chosen to expand here in New York State and here in Buffalo because we recognize that the Empire State of today is not the Empire State of the past. There is new leadership, a new attitude towards business, and most importantly, a governor that understands what needs to be done to keep and bring jobs here. When you think about what Buffalo has to offer for employers, it's hard to think of a better place to do business. We've always had the right raw materials, the highly trained and educated workforce, the academic excellence here at UB and other institutions, and our renowned quality of life. But the icing on the cake is the Startup New York program. Startup will allow us to operate and expand 10 years on a tax-free basis, including no income taxes for employees, no sales tax, property, or other business taxes. Now, beyond Liaison's own expansion, our parent company at Towers Watson has a new and completely redefined perspective on what it means to do business in New York State. It's very exciting. Liaison's new offices in the rehabilitated Fairmont Creamery building kicks off a great revival in the cobblestone district of downtown Buffalo and adds to the momentum we have started to feel here in Buffalo. The state of New York is playing a pivotal role in strengthening Liaison's connection to the SUNY system, helping to advance the firm's technology advantages, and helping us to provide people with rewarding career opportunities without ever having to leave the region. I can tell you today, more than ever before, New York State and Buffalo are great places to start, build, and grow a business, thanks to the Startup New York program and the new way that this government approaches partnering with the private sector to stimulate growth. Now, before I hand it over, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one last thing. We're hiring. Whether you live here now, you want to move back, or you simply think it's time to jump on the Buffalo bandwagon, please visit www.liaison.com/careers to learn more. I'd now like to welcome the Governor of New York State, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Well, it is my pleasure to be back in Buffalo. I don't have a pad in Buffalo. I want to end that. I don't want anyone searching for a pad, any rumors about a pad. Been a few nights, but that's a different story, really, than from a pad. First to Liaison and to Ashok, welcome to Buffalo. We are so excited. Those are two beautiful words. We are hiring 500 jobs. We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're part of the community. Let's give them a big round of applause. To Mr. Howard Zemsky, who really has done a phenomenal job on the Regional Economic Development Council. He's a great business mind. He's a great citizen in the community. He brings a great energy. And he really has been a phenom in what he's done. Let's give him a round of applause and thank him. To Satish Tripathi, who's not with us today, but he's been the partner in the Regional Economic Development Council, SUNY as the catalyst, SUNY as the economic, academic engine to drive these programs, has worked extraordinarily well. Let's give him a round of applause. To our great Mayor, Byron Brown, pleasure to be with you, Mr. Mayor, pleasure. My partner in all good things, County Executive Mark Polenkars, pleasure to be with you, Mark. You will hear from a great Senator Tim Kennedy and a great Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples-Stokes, who've been great colleagues of mine, but we also have other colleagues here from the Legislature, Assembly, and Senate. And I just want to say we have had a great 4 years working together. And that's what made the 4 years work. We worked together. A lot of years in Albany, they worked at cross purposes. A lot of years it was about politics. It was about the color of the jersey that you wore. And it was more about playing politics than doing the people's business. And 4 years ago, we sat down, we had a discussion, and we said, you know what? Let's put the politics aside. Let's put the people first, and let's do the people's business. We passed 4 on-time budgets in a row. We brought down taxes in this state. We brought tourism up. Unemployment took the largest one-year drop in history in upstate New York last year. So the arrows are pointed in the right direction. The legislature did it, and let's give them a round of applause. So I am writing a book. I'm in the middle of writing a book. It was a good idea when I talked about it 2 years ago. Somebody said, you want to write a book? I said, sure, I'd love to write a book. My cover, my picture, nice. Book signings. Yes, I'd love to write a book. And then it was a nice idea, and I was going to start, and I never really started. And now I'm at the end date. I'm actually past the end date. So now I'm scrambling to write the book. It is a phenomenally hard thing to do. Sounds very simple, sounds nice, but really a difficult issue. But it's a few weeks away, and I had some fun in the book. You'll see when you see the book, I'm actually better looking in the book than I am in reality. I'm a little thinner in the book, a little wittier, a little more charming in the book. I drive a Ferrari in the book, which is fun. I talk a lot about Buffalo in the book. You won't be surprised. I talk about some of the people from Buffalo in the book. I actually mention Howard Zemsky in the book. I say Howard Zemsky is not actually as funny as Howard Zemsky thinks he is in the book. Did a little research. Congressman Higgins, you know, was a history professor. That's how you know him. Did you know he was a professor of yoga first? Brian Higgins. Yeah, true almost. So I have a little fun in the book. But the book is going to say that Buffalo is on the move. Buffalo is on the move. That's what the book is going to say. And there is no denying but that Buffalo is in the move. You look everywhere. You talk about the medical corridor that had been a dream for so many years. and now is turning into a reality faster than anyone could have imagined. The outer harbor and the progress on the outer harbor and the environmental progress on the outer harbor, canal side, and the phenomenal success canal side has become. Unimaginable that could actually happen. You have the advanced manufacturing. You have IBM coming with 500 jobs. The Ford plant, Hamburg, investment $150 million. 43 North, Yahoo, the Buffalo Bills lease. Thank Mark Polencars again for the Buffalo Bills lease. The Peace Bridge, what did you call it, a quagmire, Peace Bridge quagmire? It's like the Peace Bridge standoff, I don't know. But saying, it was a powerful statement at Peace Bridge. Peace Bridge, the statement was, business as usual is not going to be tolerated. And we need to make progress. And excuses will not be tolerated. And we stood up and we made that case for all the people in Buffalo. And we had two great colleagues who did it, Assemblyman Sean Ryan and Senator Mark Grisanti stood up and said, enough is enough, we want to move forward, and we're not taking no for an answer, and they deserve a round of applause. And then you had two, to me, of the largest symbolic projects. Riverbend, which is going to be so powerful. And it speaks to us in so many ways, Riverbend, because Riverbend says, this is what we were. We were a steel manufacturing city. And this is where we did it. And now it's over. And Riverbend sat there almost like a grave site to the old Buffalo. And it left the stain of the manufacturing era, and we spent decades just looking at what was. And it was just blank and absent. And every time you passed it, it reminded you of what we were, who we were, what we did. And the blankness reminded you that we don't know where we are today and where we are going. That was yesterday, but where is tomorrow? And it sat there, year after year after year after year. And now on Riverbend, you're going to see a whole new economy rising. Not an economy of yesterday, an economy of tomorrow. An economy that was unimaginable 10, 20 years ago. Nobody would have believed that Buffalo was going to take this giant step forward. That's what you're going to see on Riverbend. Startup program is the same thing. Startup takes the negative that you've heard for so many years and flips it 180 degrees. What was the negative? High taxes. I'm leaving New York. Why? Taxes are too high. Businesses, I'm moving, taxes are too high. Young people, I'm leaving, taxes are too high. Startup says, you know how much we charge in taxes in the state of New York? 0. "64 startup zones all across the state. Of the 64 zero-tax startup zones, how many are in upstate New York? 59. Why so many of the startup zones in upstate New York? How about downstate New York? Because the truth is, upstate New York needs the economic help more than downstate New York needs the economic help. And that's been the truth for a long time. And the truth is, Albany failed to recognize and deliver for upstate New York. And that's what's been changed over the past 4 years. And that's why the startup zones are in upstate New York, and I'm proud of it. And today on this building, momentum, liaison, 500 jobs, 7 other companies coming to the startup zone, Total number of jobs today, 659 new jobs coming to Buffalo, and that's what this is all about. Now, the book also answers the question, why did Buffalo have this dramatic turnaround? Almost unimaginable, unbelievable turnaround. And I think my answer may be surprising to some of the people in this room. Part of it was the state overall got its act in order. That's why I praise the legislature with the taxes, the economic policy, et cetera. But you think it was the Buffalo Billion that did it. Buffalo Billion turned Buffalo around. Buffalo Billion was a big, bold initiative that the state undertook. Caused us a lot of grief, by the way. Not that I'm complaining, but caused us grief everywhere besides Buffalo. Missed that point when I announced Buffalo Billion. Every other city I go to says, "Where's my billion? You like Buffalo better." But you think it was the Buffalo Billion. I'll tell you something. Of the Buffalo Billion, how much do you think has actually been spent? $80 million. Only $80 million has been actually spent. $200 million is under contract. $500 million has been committed. The other $500 is in the budget. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry. It's yours when you need it. But it's not like the Buffalo Billion bought this success. It wasn't the Buffalo Billion. What the Buffalo Billion did was it got your attention. And it got the attention of the people of this city and of Western New York. And it gave them something to justify their hope. 33 years, bad 30, past 3 have been good. Someone said to me about the economy in Buffalo once, it's been bad for 50 years. It was bad for so long, it was hard to believe again. So many people had come before you and said, I have a plan. So many politicians, I'm with you. This is going to be different. But nothing was ever different. How do you get people to believe again? How do you get the hope? How do you get the confidence? Buffalo Billion. You're cynical, you're skeptical, you don't believe? How about this? $1 billion, I promise. Now I have your attention. Now you think maybe this time it's going to be different. And that's what we needed. We needed that crack in the cynicism where people said, maybe this time it's going to be different. And once we had the crack, you know what we did? We went to work. And we did the real work. And we brought people together. And we said, stop this competing with one another. Let's cooperate. Let's collaborate. Stop putting up walls. I'm the city, I'm the county, I'm the town, I'm the village. We're all Western New Yorkers. We're all in this together. Break down the silos. I'm academia, I'm business, I'm a politician. You're all in it together. Let's have one table. Let's put everyone at one table. Let's put everyone at one table. Let's come up with one vision and one plan, and then everybody puts their shoulder to that plan, and we move this region forward finally, because a united Buffalo, a committed Buffalo, is unstoppable. Ashok said it. You have every asset you could have. You have the schools, you have the history, you have the architecture, you have everything. You even have snow. So many parts of this country don't have snow, and you have it. You did it. You did it. Buffalo did it when Buffalo decided it wanted to do it. And in that strength, in that unity, you're building a Buffalo that is going to be better than any Buffalo that has been before. This was never about rebuilding what was on Riverbend. You don't go backwards in life. It wasn't about Buffalo of yesterday. This was building the Buffalo of tomorrow. This was not rebuilding Buffalo. It was building a better Buffalo. Because at the end of the day, as a parent, as a citizen, the fundamental responsibility is to leave this place a better place, to give our children a better home than the home that we had. And their home is Western New York, and you are doing it. And I'm proud and pleased to be able to watch it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Wow. And I have to follow probably one of the best speakers in the entire nation. Governor, welcome back. Governor, welcome back to Buffalo. It's great to have you here. Thank you for seeing our need in Buffalo, Western New York, upstate New York, and putting your energy, your focus on turning our community around. You know, Governor, I have to tell you, I think that Howard Zemsky is actually right. You have been here so often. You have done so much in this community. There are really a lot of Governor Cuomo sightings all over Buffalo. I was in Gigi's restaurant on the east side last week, and I was talking to a friend of mine who has a food truck, a food cart at Larkinville. La Maurice Wilbert. And he said, you know, I think last week I served a steak sub to Governor Cuomo. I said, La Maurice, it couldn't be possible. It was a Sunday. He said, I think I served a mistake. So Governor, your action, your work, your presence is being felt here even when you are not here. I also want to thank you for starting this week with such positive news. Another major jobs announcement, 500 more jobs coming to this community. It's this kind of news that really is inspiring hope and confidence in the people of Buffalo. You know, when Governor Cuomo was here last year explaining Startup New York, I felt confident that it was going to work. How could zero taxes not work? Again, zero taxes. How could that not work? And I was wondering to myself, Governor, when I was thinking about it when you were explaining it, why didn't anybody ever think about this in New York State before? Governor, it was you that came up with Startup New York, and it is working for this community. It is creating thousands of new jobs for the people of Buffalo and Western New York. And as you heard Ashok say, this city in many ways has all the Startup New York pieces. We are here today on the campus of UB, an internationally recognized public research institution. The research and work done at UB today, as well as the training its students receive, is what businesses are looking for in today's economy. Startup joins all UB and our other colleges and offers an incentive that can't be beat. I want to say it again because it's so exciting every time I think about it. Zero taxes. And today, we are seeing the success of that strategy. And I'm very pleased that locally we have such a strong partnership with Governor Cuomo. And we have designed our policies to work seamlessly with the governor's state economic development policies and tax policies. We have set a goal in Buffalo of 1,300 new units of housing over the next 4 years. And the development community is stepping up to build new housing. And a commercial for the city of Buffalo, we have cut the tax rate by 16% residentially and 29% commercially. Governor, with your announcement today, what that means is the over $4.4 billion of economic development that has been announced, that has broken ground in this community since 2012, will produce almost 13,000 new jobs in this community over the next 4 years. And we are working hard to capture as many of those job holders to live in the city of Buffalo as possible. Excuse me for that, Mayor Deister, but we're working hard on that. Today is proof, positive proof, that the economic agenda for this region, that Governor Cuomo and the legislature have worked with us locally to put in place, is truly working for the people of Buffalo and Western New York. Governor Cuomo, thank you for all you're doing to move this community forward.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day, huh? It is a great day to be in Buffalo. Governor Cuomo, welcome back. It is a beautiful day to be inside. Well, I'll tell you what, this is just such an extraordinary opportunity once again to celebrate who we are as a community. New York State is working, Startup New York is working, and our community is working together at every level of government so that when we come together like this, more than ever before, we're seeing the fruits of our labor. We're seeing the fruits of Governor Cuomo and your vision, jobs and opportunities in Western New York like we haven't seen in generations. And you know, those 18 to 39-year-olds that Howard Zemsky was talking about, that's us. Look around in this room. Look around in this room. There's opportunities for so many individuals that have stuck it out, so many individuals that now have an opportunity to come back to Buffalo. And for the first time in generations, yes, the millennials are staying here and they're coming back here. Why? Because of announcements like here today. Because of announcements like Ashok in the newly refurbished old creamery building at the Cobblestone District. Because of announcements like over $200 million at Riverbend that's leveraging over $1 billion of economic activity, bringing thousands of jobs in just a couple miles down the road, down South Park Avenue. And a couple miles north at the Buffalo Niagara Medical Campus, when we're talking about over 17,000 new jobs that are coming into Buffalo, the heart of our community that we all love so well. There is opportunity for our generation. There is opportunity for future generations like we've never seen before. And as the governor mentioned, we always talked about Buffalo and our best days being behind us. We Buffalonians know that when we celebrated Buffalo in the past, it was about, you know, the turn of the century, turn of the 20th century. When we talk about our history, and we talk about President McKinley coming here, and the Pan Am Exposition, and Buffalo being the 8th largest city in the country, and the city of light, and so much to celebrate in our community. Well, we have news for you, folks. Our best days are immediately in front of us, and it's because of the work of Governor Cuomo and Startup New York and Mayor Byron Brown and our colleagues in government working in the collaborative fashion that has brought these opportunities to bear. And I'm so proud to play a role in it. I'm so proud to work with you, Governor Cuomo, and I'm looking forward to our continuing work well into the future. And now it's a great honor and privilege that I have to introduce a tremendous partner of mine in the New York State Assembly. We make a great tag team, and we're going to keep it that way, Assemblywoman Crystal Peoples-Stowe.
Okay. Good morning. Is it still morning? We've been here quite a while. It is a really great day in Buffalo. That is said very often when we have announcements like this one, but this one is particularly great because not just of the kind of company that it is, but the gentleman who started the company is from Western New York. And I understand some years ago he was in a coffee shop somewhere in the Elmwood area and came up with this idea that has grown from 3 people around a conference table to 175 people. Now they have partnered with Howard Watson, and in 5 years they will have 500 people working on the east side of Buffalo. And by the way, this young man, Ashok, while he worked at a coffee shop some years ago and came up with this idea, he did not know that along was going to come a Governor Cuomo that would add all of these incentives to grow his business. But his vision led him to this point, and I just really want to thank him again because it's just awesome what he has done here. Just awesome. I should let you all know, Mr. Governor, that my staff and I have already had conversations with Ashok. We're going to be very happy to help him find those people that he's willing to hire right now. And my number is public. You can find that anywhere. Call me. We will help you reach out to Ashok. He's already given out his website address. And people should feel like this is for you. I know sometimes, particularly in Buffalo, folks think that, this $1 billion vision that the governor laid out for us to encourage us to be more positive and less negative, they don't feel like it is for them. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is for you. I don't care what part of Buffalo you live in. I don't care what part of Western New York you live in. All of this investment is for you. It's for every community. And so if someone feels like they've been left out, then let's talk privately. Because I'm going to say 2 things to you. One, that the governor is the governor for the entire state of New York, and particularly for Buffalo. He's demonstrated that by his actively coming here on a regular basis. I don't know whether he has a pad or not, but he surely shows up regularly. That's a commitment that you have to believe is for you. 2, and he said it earlier, every elected official in Buffalo now works together on the same issues at the same time. No one is trying to be more important than the other. No one is trying to make their idea go first. We all just want the same thing. We want the same thing that the governor wants for us. He wants us to change our image of how we feel about ourselves. We want us to lose the negativity and increase the positivity. And so if he's doing that for downtown Buffalo, he's also doing that for the east side of Buffalo. He's doing it for the west side of Buffalo. So we are all in this together. Lastly, I want to say this. Howard Zemsky is a rock star. With that, God bless you and have a great day. Oh, I apologize. Can't have SUNY up without Startup New York, without having a great team of people who work at the SUNY institutions across this state. One of our trustees is in the room today, and I just want to acknowledge her, Eunice Lewin, trustee of SUNY New York.
Folks, thank you all for coming today. We look forward to welcoming the governor back in the near future, and I promise I will be funnier next time.